for abduction without the possibility of parole. On the next true crime, how is Jamie Kloss doing today? I'm sitting down exclusively with a family friend who searched tirelessly for Jamie and played a key role in bringing her home to safety. I'll see you next time.
Do you worry about going to the dentist? Well, relax. The Carefree dental card is now available in your area. Call the number on your screen and we'll send your actual card at no cost today. With the Carefree dental card, you go to the dentist whenever you need and you instantly pay a lot less. The Carefree dental card is just $15.95 a month. So call now and make going to the dentist carefree.
Call 1-800-451-3571 to receive your free Carefree dental card information kit.
Before using Olea, my hair color was less vibrant. I had to rescue it.
Olea, hair color powered by 60% oils, no ammonia.
The color is really rich,
And it looks healthier than before I colored it.
my hair is happy right now.
Olea by Garnier Naturally.
Ta-da! Did you know Liberty Mutual customizes your car insurance so you only pay for what you need?
I should get a quote.
Do it.
Only pay for what you need.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
News 3 Now, your local headquarters for coronavirus facts and updates.
Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Live at 4. Here's what's making news on this Tuesday. It is an alert day with severe weather possibilities in the forecast.
Another day of protests here in Madison in response to the killing of George Floyd and alleged systematic racism.
And President Trump continues to threaten using the U.S. military against U.S. citizens to stop protests across the country. Let's take a look outside on this very hot and humid day. This is a good place to be out on the water. Although we do have a stormy night. You may want to head to shore soon. Dana's in the backyard or the patio, keeping an eye on the skies.
Right now, it is very warm and muggy outside. We don't have any storms currently on our radar, though. In fact, as we look downtown, we still have a nice, clear sky. Temperatures have been climbing through the 80s. We're at 88 right now, so we haven't officially hit that record yet in Madison, but Milwaukee did officially hit 91 degrees already. So they've tied the record. Might still add on a few more degrees, though. Heat index readings are in the low 90s. So we've had that alert day in the forecast for the afternoon because of the near record heat. Tonight, we do have the chance for strong to severe thunderstorms to develop. Our radar is currently quiet, but we're going to keep a very close eye on things as we start to get closer to about 9, 10, 11 o'clock. Our risk for severe weather is mainly north of Dane County for to see the very, very strong wind gusts, but all of southern Wisconsin at least under a slight risk. Right now on the roads, we are seeing a few delays closer to the Beltline and the interstate. It does seem like there was a portion of westbound that had been closed down. It looks like that's been cleared up since. 25 minutes to get from Janesville to the Beltline, 17 from Sauk City to Middleton, and some parade to downtown about 9 minutes this evening.
Did we hit 90?
Not yet. We're still at 88.
Okay,
we're close.
Keep going. All right, Dana, thank you. The protests continue in Madison. Hundreds of protesters gathered in front of the Dane County Jail this afternoon, calling for the sheriff to free the inmates and defund police.
Our Jamie Perez is live, and she's live there now and joins us with the latest. Jamie.
So this was a relatively peaceful protest today. Like you said, hundreds of people were gathering here in front of the Dane County Jail. They were making up signs, preparing for this caravan drive-by protest, and it actually blocked off the surrounding areas for quite some time, considering how many cars and people were here. You could see Black Lives Matter signs, black bandanas hanging out of car doors for Blackout Tuesday, and more of their messages displayed on those signs. We did talk to some of the protesters here to talk about why they continue to show up to these protests and what they hope to get out of this.
I am a black woman. I also have white, light skin. skin privilege, so I feel like I should be out here fighting for the people in my community. It's so close to home right now that it's really scary, and I can't imagine doing anything else but being here and protesting. I asked my manager today, like, I need to take time off to fight for my community, and she was fully supportive.
There were no police or sheriff officers to be seen in response to this protest this afternoon. And the protests that we talked to said that they will continue to show up to these protests in support of the cause for as long as they feel necessary until they get their message across.
Jamie Perez, live downtown. Jamie, thank you. The Madison Common Council is scheduled to take steps toward a new committee to oversee police oversight tonight. To understand what this will do, you need the backstory. After Tony Robinson was shot and killed in 2015, the city put together a committee to look into ways to better oversee police action. Last year, the committee came out with its guidance. Tonight, a group of alders is pushing for a committee to monitor how the recommendations of the previous committee are put in place. The #1 thing the group asked for was an independent police auditor. The city has budgeted for that position, but has yet to fill it.
Governor Tony Evers has shared a statement condemning the killing of George Floyd as unrest continues to spread throughout the country. Evers is calling for state leaders to take steps to enact new policies that combat systemic racism and immediately pass Assembly Bill 1012 that would reform the state's use of force policies by emphasizing preservation of life and minimization of use of force.
We can start with accountability for unacceptable use of force by certain law enforcement officers in our country and our state. So I'm calling on the legislature.
Evers says that he would sign the bill as soon as it makes it to his desk if the legislature passes it.
The state of Minnesota has filed a human rights complaint against the Minneapolis Police Department in the death of George Floyd. Governor Tim Walz and the Minnesota Department of Human Rights announced the filing at a news conference this afternoon. The officer who had his knee on Floyd's neck, Derek Chauvin, has been fired and charged with third-degree murder and second-degree manslaughter. The other 3 officers involved have not been charged, but state officials have mentioned the possibility of more charges. After last night's peaceful protest ended, a small group started damaging businesses along the State Street area.
Charlotte Deleste is here with that story. Charlotte.
Mark and Susan, we really want to let our viewers know that those who are participating in this kind of behavior doesn't necessarily reflect the people who were demonstrating peacefully throughout the night. But once again, damage was done to several businesses along and around State Street. Some businesses that managed to go untouched Sunday night got hit last night, but even businesses that were broken into and looted before experienced another round. But once again, city crews and volunteers showed up this morning to help clean the mess left behind.
We're just blessed to be in a position to give back. I think we feel like it's our duty and our privilege to do so, and to see the efforts that the small business owners are making to try to protect their business and remain open has been very inspiring in the light of such tragedy down here.
Cleary says his company and others in the same industry are fortunate at this time, and he is so proud to work side by side with them to help make State Street whole again.
Charlotte, thank you. Madison Mayor Satya Rose Conway is working to turn the boarded-up stores on State Street into works of art. News 3 Now photojournalist Brian Troxel captures what artists are doing.
This is about growth. In order to grow, we need to change right now. We are just out here trying to preserve and to express the beauty of what's going on right now.
I got a chance to be part of this project, and the first thing I thought, it was like, hey, Mike would be amazing for this. We just kind of go as we go, and then we talk, get together for 2 seconds. We talk about ideas. That's good. Everything that we go through, it's an experience, you know, and we got to learn what the good and bad things are from those experiences, and hopefully learn from it.
A lot of this stuff makes people uncomfortable, and people are watching, and people see the graffiti, and people see the marches. The things that make you uncomfortable, that's going to make change.
Art is peaceful, even if the imagery is a little bit shocking to some. To others, it's exactly what is needed.
The state of Minnesota has filed a civil rights charge against the Minneapolis Police Department following the death of George Floyd. From coast to coast, police are taking a knee, joining protesters calling for justice for George Floyd. The scene was a far cry from the chaos erupting in cities across the country last night. Police used tear gas to break up crowds in Oakland and Philadelphia. An NYPD sergeant was also struck by a hit-and-run driver in the Bronx. In the city where Floyd was killed, demonstrators also held a moment of silence as these artists got to work on another mural in his honor.
We're saying with this mural that we're in solidarity with specifically George Floyd and his family, but also more broadly with the African-American community.
A memorial service for Floyd is scheduled for this Thursday at North Central University in the city. Members of Floyd's family are joining protesters today in downtown Houston, Floyd's hometown, for a march to City Hall. President Trump visited a second church in 2 days as protests continue across the country. Protesters returned to the streets of the nation's capital despite heightened security measures across the city. Earlier, demonstrators met the president and First Lady when they visited the St. John Paul II National Shrine. Last night, peaceful protesters across from the White House in Lafayette Park were forcibly dispersed by federal police. Moments later, President Trump walked to the nearby damaged St. John's Church, where he held up a Bible.
Pretty consistent continuum for this president in standing up for religious rights.
We would hope that the President of the United States would follow the lead of so many other presidents before him to be a healer in chief and not a fanner of the flame.
President Trump has threatened state governors that he will send in the U.S. military to stop the violent protests and riots, a move that would require invoking the Insurrection Act of 1807. Meanwhile, the president's top political rival, former Vice President Joe Biden, visited Philadelphia, where he called for unity and reform.
And we continue to follow the global pandemic. Wisconsin now has nearly 19,000 positive cases of COVID-19. 609 people have died. The percent of positive tests within the last 24 hours dipped below 4%.
States are pushing forward with plans to further reopen despite nationwide protests over police brutality and rising coronavirus cases. New York Governor Andrew Cuomo celebrated the latest state data on the coronavirus outbreak that shows new COVID-19 cases at an all-time low at 154. But after days of protests and unrest in New York and across the country, there are major concerns that the large crowds could spark new surges. Chicago will proceed into phase 3 tomorrow, which includes opening the city's hotels. Las Vegas needs big wins when its casinos start to reopen on Thursday.
We've had those specially designed, developed, and installed here at all of our casinos. Those will be installed, so if you want to go wash your hands, you'll be able to do so. If you want to be able to grab a mask, we've got that close by as well.
A new CBS News poll shows more than half of those surveyed think states reopening over the next few months will make the outbreak worse. About a quarter believe it will have no effect. Already, one area has seen a setback. Washington, D.C. had a spike in cases and has reset its countdown from phase 1 to phase 2.
Well, still to come at 4, it is still unclear just exactly what the fall semester holds for college students.
More and more students are thinking about taking a gap year until the pandemic is over. We'll look at the pros and cons of that when Live at 4 continues.
You're watching News 3 Now, Live at 4.
Hi, I'm Travis Ganser. Looking to update your bath, shower, or your entire bathroom? Ganser is the answer with Bath Creations by Ganser Company.
Schedule your free in-home consultation or visit our beautiful showroom on the Beltline.
A local family-owned business of 4 generations.
Comfort Services. Buy one air conditioner and get one gas furnace for only $1,000. BOGOs are back, and it's a beautiful thing.
While there's no instruction manual for what we're all going through now, there is Christian and Natalie and all our other associates at Pick and Save, working with one of the country's biggest supply chains for the Kroger family of brands. Keeping our promise that our shelves will be continually stocked and that you'll always have access to the things you need. Because together, we've got you covered. Pick and Save, fresh for everyone.
These are extraordinary times, and we want to thank the extraordinary people in the healthcare community working to care for all of us. At Novartis, we promise to do our part. As always, we're doing everything we can to help keep Cosentyx accessible and affordable. If you have any questions at all, call us, email us, visit us online. We're here to help support you when you need us. Take care and be well. To learn more, call 1-844-COSENTYX or visit Cosentyx.com.
Holding a phone takes precious attention away from the road. That's why handheld cell phone use is now illegal in Wisconsin work zones, and fines start at $40. Driving deserves your undivided attention. It's about safety for workers and for all motorists. So when you see orange cones, please put down the phone. The Wisconsin DOT urges you to eliminate distractions and be especially alert in work zones.
Sometimes distance isn't the only barrier between you, your friends, and your loved ones, which is why TDS works tirelessly to provide you with the fastest, most reliable internet so you can stay strong, stay connected, and keep your world together. TDS, the best internet for how we live.
Ganser Company is proud to introduce 80 years and 80 minutes. We give you the skinny in 80 minutes to make an educated decision.
Infinity Windows from Marvin offer a lifetime warranty.
Remember, 80 years and 80 minutes from a local family business of 4 generations.
Welcome back. The Tiger King saga just won't go away. Carol Baskin has won a major victory in court against her Tiger King nemesis, Joe Exotic.
In Joe Exotic's worst nightmare scenario, Carol Baskin is now the owner of his infamous animal park. A judge in Oklahoma ruled in favor of Baskin's Big Cat Rescue Corporation in its lawsuit against Joe Exotic Zoo. The court is giving Baskin control of the 16-acre animal park in Garvin County, Oklahoma, along with several cabins and vehicles. Joe Exotic, whose real name is Joseph Allen Maldonado Passage, remains in prison for his attempt to hire a hitman to kill Baskin.
I see a sequel coming.
Yeah. From senior pranks to prom to graduation, the coronavirus has taken away a lot of milestones for high school seniors.
As experts warn of a second wave of COVID-19 in the fall, a new survey from Art and Science Group finds 16% of incoming students may take a gap year, and another 17% are considering deferring enrollment until the spring of 2021. When it comes to reopening, universities are split on what to do. Many are exploring a shortened fall semester with widespread contact tracing, social distancing, quarantine protocols, and remote learning, far from the traditional freshman experience. Gap year advisor Julia Rogers says that while travel may not be an option this year, there are other productive ways to spend the time.
This opportunity for you to get outside the bubble that you've grown up in, to figure out how you want to contribute to your greater community and global community, and to prepare for adulthood in a meaningful way.
Rogers says there are plenty of enriching volunteer opportunities for young people in their own communities, making a gap year during the pandemic both valuable and cost-effective. Stocks rose for the second straight day as reopening hopes offset concerns over ongoing protests. The Dow Industrials gained 267 points, closing at 25,742. The NASDAQ added 56, and the S&P 500 was up 25. Well, 75 businesses on State Street and more in the downtown business district have been damaged or looted during the violent protest in Madison over the killing of George Floyd.
Many businesses were already struggling during the COVID-19 pandemic, and whether they'll bounce back depends in large part on their insurance policies. Martha Lester is a risk management and insurance instructor at Madison College. Welcome to Live at 4, Martha. Good to see you.
Hi, nice to be here. Thank you.
So do most business insurance policies cover damage as a result of civil unrest, or is business insurance similar to car insurance where you're required to have basic liability?
Well, property insurance, civil commotion and riot are part of the basic perils covered under a property insurance policy for a business. So that would be covered. A majority of policies are going to also have some theft coverage, which would cover the looting. But those are perils that are included in a commercial property policy.
And most of the businesses on State Street, I assume, rent those buildings. Are the landlords protected?
Well, under their commercial property policy, depending on the form they have, they may or may not have theft coverage, but they would have coverage for damage caused by vandalism, riot, and civil commotion. Those are all basic perils in a policy.
What about that? Broken windows and damage to the exterior of the store is one thing, but what about the inventory inside a store? Is that covered with an insurance policy?
For the store owners themselves, they would have, on their commercial property policy, they would have coverage for some contents. Now, the jewelry store, when we look at that, their basic policy is going to limit the amount of coverage for jewelry. However, they more than likely have a jeweler's block policy that gives them additional coverage for that. But for the store business owner themselves, a commercial property policy, they can purchase contents coverage, and the majority of them probably have that coverage to cover their personal items.
What should an owner do if the insurance company says no?
Well, the first thing that I think they should do after they've taken the steps to protect their property from further damage, we've seen all the boarding up going on down there and the cleaning up of the glass so that people don't get injured, they should contact their agent and talk to their agent about what type of coverage they have, what steps the agent recommends them to take if they have damage, what they should be doing. But that would be the first place to start, is to work with the agent. The agent would have been the one that provided them with the coverage, so would know what type of coverage they have under their policy.
We mentioned that this comes on top of businesses that were already struggling and looking forward to reopening because of the pandemic. Are losses that businesses suffer due to the pandemic covered?
The loss of income is under a separate policy. It's called business interruption coverage, and that pays for income lost or any expenses incurred because you've had this covered type of loss. So for the jewelry store, I keep referring back to that because I saw the damage. They have physical damage. If they have a business interruption policy, then they would be able to receive reimbursement for the income that was lost during this period, as they call it in the policy, this period of interruption. But that is a separate form. And I just read an article yesterday that said about only 40% of businesses have business interruption coverage, which I found very surprising because that is definitely something a business would want to have. Now, if you're a business downtown and your business hasn't sustained a physical loss, but a nearby business has sustained a physical loss, and the civil authority, the police department, is putting this curfew in place or closing businesses in the area because of that, as long as the neighboring business's loss is a peril that's covered by your business interruption policy, there's a coverage in business interruption called civil authority. And they would have the ability to file a claim for lost income under that civil authority. There's a 72-hour waiting deductible, and it provides coverage up to 4 weeks.
All right, well, check with your agent, I guess, is the bottom line here, and best of luck to all of the businesses affected by this. Martha, thanks for being with us.
Thank you, Martha. Great information we hope will be very helpful for business owners. Good to see you.
Thank you for having me.
Still to come at 4, forecasters are predicting an active hurricane season.
When we come back, couple that with a pandemic, and officials are very worried about rescue efforts in the event of a major hurricane. We'll find out what the plans are coming up after Dana's steamy forecast.
Andrew Larson here, owner of Larson Home Services. It's so nice to see things getting back to normal. We're grateful we've been able to continue to conduct business the right way and put LeafGuard gutter systems on homes throughout the area. LeafGuard is guaranteed so you can give up cleaning your gutters forever. And we'll continue to keep things rolling by offering the best deal ever on new LeafGuard gutter systems. Right now, get up to $1,000 off, free financing for 12 months, and a $100 Visa gift card with your LeafGuard purchase.
Hi, I'm Brian from McGann Furniture in Baraboo. We know that hardworking people want the most value for their money. When you shop at McGann's, we've already sorted out and selected the brands that we feel offer you the most bang for your buck. From young couples just starting out to people my age, we offer a huge selection at prices that will fit your budget. Plus, most purchases include free delivery and setup. Shop McGann Furniture in downtown Baraboo. You'll be glad you did.
Where can a healthier heart lead you? For people with heart failure taking Entresto, it may lead to a world of possibilities. Entresto is a heart failure medicine prescribed by most cardiologists. It was proven superior at helping people stay alive and out of the hospital. Heart failure can change the structure of your heart, so it may not work as well. Entresto helps improve your heart's ability to pump blood to the body. And with a healthier heart, there's no telling where life may take you. Don't take Entresto if pregnant. It can cause harm or death to an unborn baby. Don't take Entresto with an ACE inhibitor or aliskiren, or if you've had angioedema with an ACE or ARB. The most serious side effects are angioedema, low blood pressure, kidney problems, or high blood potassium. Ask your doctor about Entresto. Novartis thanks the heroic healthcare workers fighting COVID-19.
Ask about $99 prescription sunglasses. Wisconsin Vision. See more life.
Pick up a copy of Madison Magazine and have the city at your fingertips. Dining, entertainment, where to go, and what to see. Original reporting, local business, and politics. Pick up the latest issue on newsstands now.
Wisconsin weather can be frustrating. Get the latest forecast, alerts, and detailed traffic reports from the News 3 Now team. On air, online, and download the Channel 3000 First Warn app. Be the first to know what's headed our way.
We'll take a look at this. An amusement park in Holland is reopening and is celebrating with a social media video that is unbearably cute. Wallaby Holland shuttered its doors amid coronavirus concerns, but as you can see, they are out of hibernation and having pause to celebrate.
That is such a good idea.
It's a great idea.
Oh, it's really cute.
Open for business. All right. Not going to be open tonight, though. Dana, with his weather moving through.
Probably not. We are seeing some thunderstorms well to the north along cold front. Nothing passing through just yet. Our timing's really backed up with this line coming through. We'll take a closer look at what's ahead for the next few days and getting a little bit of a break in this heat right after the break.
Now, a WISC-TV editorial.
I've always remained silent when it comes to controversial issues and injustices faced by African Americans. Not because I didn't feel the pain, but because I work in public media. My mentor suggested not to voice my opinion, but it's time for me to speak up. The death of George Floyd hit me a little bit harder than the others. He was an African American male, just like me. He was a native of Houston, just like me. But what struck me the most was learning that he was known for mentoring other young men through ministry, just like I do here in Madison each and every single day. I often wonder why society sees my life as less valuable because of a skin color that I can't control. Throughout childhood, I was told racist jokes by white classmates. These jokes caused me to wonder why I was considered less capable of life achievements because of a skin color that I can't control. And in college, a professor told me to drop out because I'd never be smart enough to be a meteorologist, hinting at my race as a factor. I've always wondered what motivated him to say that. The truth is, I've wondered for far too long. It's time for a change. In the past few days, many of those same classmates have reached out to me and apologized, asking me how they can help the cause. I'm thankful, but the momentum can't stop there. The narrative must be changed so that our future children don't have to do this very thing I'm doing now. The narrative must be changed so that our future children don't have to experience the talk that all black parents have to give about police safety. The narrative must be changed so that our future children can know that they're valued, loved, and capable of anything, just as my parents taught me. The Declaration of Independence says we hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal. Let's live like that.
Wells Asphalt Paving, expert paving for over 40 years. Now offering $250 off your asphalt paving project. For residential and commercial, from new construction to replacements, call today and save at Wells Asphalt Paving.
When looking for a TV and internet provider, we know you have a choice. This is Jessica. She still has satellite TV.
Well, I get tons of HD.
Spectrum has tons of HD, and we love Spectrum's 24-hour local news channel. Plus, we get exclusive access to premium original content with Spectrum Originals.
I don't have that.
Get Spectrum TV from $44.99 a month. Call 833-976-4499.
Spectrum Internet starts at 200 megabits with no data caps and a free modem.
We have to get internet from another company, and it isn't nearly as fast.
Spectrum Internet, $44.99 a month.
I'd switch, but I'm stuck in a contract and would have to pay up to $480 to cancel.
Spectrum has no contracts, and they'll pay up to $500 to help you out of yours.
That's it. I'm switching to Spectrum.
Get Spectrum TV and internet from $44.99 a month each. Call 833-976-4499.
The Leadership Development Program is designed for people who at some point intend to become supervisors. It would open the doors for you for a lot of different types of positions where you're going to have people reporting to you. The number one reason I would say students should come to Blackhawk Tech is that they're going to get a great education from great instructors who understand, make the learning more applicable to them, a real quality education at a very reasonable cost.
We've got the power. The Power Centers of Madison. Our highly trained service department has the power to keep your equipment running like new. We service all makes and models, from minor tune-ups and maintenance to major overhauls. Our certified mechanics can get your equipment up and running quickly. If you like to fix it yourself, between the two stores, we have the parts you need. At the Power Centers of Madison.
Wells Asphalt Paving, expert paving for over 40 years. Now offering $250 off your asphalt paving project. For residential and commercial, from new construction to replacements, call today and save at Wells Asphalt Paving.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
Well, you can thank today's heat and humidity and our storm chances for later on tonight, thanks to a cold front just off to the north right now. This front is going to continue to push southeast overnight. In front of cold fronts, though, we tend to see our temperatures, of course, climb well above average. We get that warmer air in front of a front. Also very humid for us right now throughout southern Wisconsin. The storms are going to continue to sink south. The best opportunity for severe weather is going to mainly be north of Dane County, but we're not really got the chance to still see some very strong thunderstorms throughout southern Wisconsin. So the next few hours, we're still very sunny. We're still very warm outside. Our storm chances are really backing up time-wise. Rather than coming through in the evening, it seems likely that we'll start to see some stronger thunderstorms close to 10, 11, midnight as that line sinks further south. For early Wednesday morning, we still have storms passing through. And if you do have to head out early in the day on Wednesday around 6, 7 o'clock, we might still have a little bit of rain, mainly closer to the state line. But by Wednesday afternoon, our skies are going to be become partly sunny, partly to mostly sunny, really. So for the afternoon, it will be warm outside and sunny yet again, and the same goes for Thursday, another day with sunshine and above average temperatures. This enhanced risk for severe weather again is mainly north of Dane County, where that front will be crossing through during the heat of the day. That'll be the best opportunity for very strong wind gusts, large hail, but that chance to see some stronger thunderstorms still exists for the rest of southern Wisconsin. That high wind probability really just outlining also that enhanced risk area. The hail chance is going to be a little closer to La Crosse, stretching into western central Wisconsin, but again, not ruling out the chance to keep an eye on things as far as hail and wind passing through. So tonight's a good night. However you get your weather alerts, whether it's your phone, if you have a weather radio, just make sure that it's by your bed on your nightstand in case any warnings are issued. I'll give you a good wake-up call to get moving and get to your safe place. Rainfall totals anywhere from 1/2 inch to 1 inch expected for most of the area. Some areas could pick up a little more than 1 inch if some of these storms do start to trail each other, but most of the area is not going to be a total washout. That's for us right now down in the Gulf. We're keeping an eye on our next tropical system. Cristobal right now just off the Yucatan Peninsula, expected to impact the land there just a little bit before turning further north by the weekend. So something we'll be watching through the week and into the weekend and next week as it does trend north. Temperatures tomorrow will be in the mid-80s, so another very warm day. We'll have storm chances in the morning, and then by the afternoon, skies will become mostly sunny. We stay mostly sunny for Thursday, and we stay in the 80s through the weekend and into next week.
All right, keep alert this.
Keep alert tonight.
Keep alert this
yeah,
evening.
absolutely.
Right,
yes.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dana.
As Dana mentioned, the third tropical storm of the year formed today, even though hurricane season just started yesterday.
Scientists believe we may have 3 to 6 major hurricanes this year, and the coronavirus is complicating nearly every aspect of disaster planning. Manuel Bajorquez shows us how emergency officials in Miami are trying to prepare.
When Hurricane Irma slashed South Florida in 2017, emergency managers did what they always do, evacuated thousands on buses, housing them in large and sometimes crowded shelters. This year will be different.
We will screen people when they come, take their temperature, ask them the standard questions if they have any symptoms, and we'll ask them if they have been cohabitating with somebody that has COVID-19.
Frank Rollison, Miami-Dade County's Director of Emergency Management, says COVID cases will need to be isolated, and the county may use hotels, government buildings, even empty classrooms. But he worries that the current social distancing messaging fights the evacuation messaging.
We've been telling them for so long now that you're safer at home, don't congregate, stay away from each other, but now you're going to be safer with us for a hurricane.
So you're concerned people would be afraid to go to a shelter because of the virus and endanger themselves to the storm.
Right, that's a concern that we have.
Meanwhile, Florida Power and Light is doing its usual storm prep. Normally, when the power goes out, an army of power workers from dozens of states rides to the rescue. But travel and health restrictions are already creating issues, says Michael Jarrow, an FPL vice president.
We've noticed actually early on this year, several utilities have been challenged trying to get additional resources in order for them to restore service.
It will be harder for you to restore power.
Absolutely. We anticipate there to be extended restoration times if we were challenged with a hurricane this year amid a global pandemic.
Florida's governor has urged the state's more than 20 million residents to stock up now.
If you need flashlights, if you need batteries, if you need generators.
That's a tall order for the unemployed. More than 2 million Floridians have filed unemployment claims since mid-March, like Janet Simon.
It's a punch in the gut because I have no money to prepare. I have nothing. I'm basically trying to survive and buying a little bit here.
With 3 kids and an unemployed husband, Simon is finally getting some hours at her restaurant job.
So when it comes to hurricane season, do you feel even more vulnerable this year?
Absolutely. These storms are getting stronger and stronger from what they're saying that we can expect. We're definitely not prepared at all.
A recent survey by AAA mirrors some of the concerns officials have about hurricanes during the pandemic. Nearly a third of people who responded said they are more concerned about this hurricane season over the last. But 42% said fear of the virus would make them less likely to evacuate ahead of a major storm. Manuel Bajorquez, CBS News, Miami.
That is frightening.
For those of us who have loved ones in the Southeast, it really is.
This year just keeps giving, doesn't it? What did your friend post?
Oh, I saw a funny meme where somebody said, did somebody think about giving 2020 a Snickers?
That might help.
That might help.
We'll be right back.
Anything might help.
Yes, we'll be right back.
We at Patriot Paving want to remind you we're all in this together. Be kind. Enjoy the time with your family. Help your neighbor. We can and will get through this together and be stronger than before. Stay calm, stay positive, and we'll see you soon.
U.S. Cellular.
Yeah.
New customer.
What's the deal?
Unlimited data, just $30 a month.
But what's the deal with the signal? It works everywhere. It's crazy.
You're going into signal shock? Just breathe with me. Unlimited data. Strong signal.
Strong signal.
All for $30 a month.
U.S. Cellular.
And now when you switch, you can also get $700 off the latest phones with no trade-in required. Now that's fair. U.S. Cellular. Choose fair.
Hi, I'm Tim O'Brien, owner of the Healthy Place Apple Wellness, and boy, has this been a rough season. We are here for you. We're open. Our wellness consultants are trained in the top immune, lung, and inflammation supplements that are important right now. We have live chat on our website and same-day delivery for our Dane County residents, so you do not need to leave the house. We support you. Stop by one of our 4 Madison-based locations or check us out online at findyourhealthyplace.com.
Your course, your way, your lakes. Support Clean Lakes Alliance with a virtual Loop the Lake ride, walk, run, or whatever in your own neighborhood. Registration includes a soft Land's End tea. Kids 10 and under get a free shirt with a paid adult. This socially distanced event is a great way to help the lakes and keep safe this summer. Register at cleanlakesalliance.org. We may not be able to gather, but we can still come together virtually and support our lakes.
At Machinery Row Bicycles, you'll find bicycle store quality electric e-bikes from Trek, Electra, Felt, Giant, and more. Trek offers the best-selling e-bike in America, Trek Verve Plus, under $2,500. At Machinery Row Bicycles, you'll find fat e-bikes, mountain e-bikes, road e-bikes, bike path e-bikes, and more. Free services included. The place to shop for your new e-bike is Machinery Row Bicycles, the most beautiful bicycle store in the world.
We at Patriot Paving want to remind you we're all in this together. Be kind. Enjoy the time with your family. Help your neighbor. We can and will get through this together and be stronger than before. Stay calm, stay positive, and we'll see you soon.
Tonight at 5, protests against police violence are continuing in Madison for a 4th day. We'll have live coverage from downtown. That's tonight at 5.
After a hot and humid day, thunderstorms will develop tonight. Some of the storms could be severe with hail, high winds, and heavy rainfall before ending toward morning. My forecast at 5.
And ahead at 6, we take an inside look at a local sporting goods store that sustained lots of damage from riots downtown. We'll hear from the business owner tonight on News 3 Now at 6.
Here's a live look from our Edgewater Skycam. The Memorial Union closed off, unfortunately, on a beautiful day like today, but hopefully one day soon it should open.
Yeah, hope so.
With millions of kids out of school and daycare, home-based injuries are on the rise.
To help out families, Consumer Reports created a list of ways to safety-proof your home. News 3 Now's Stephanie Fryer shares some of those ideas.
Parents are dealing with a lot right now. They're working from home while trying to teach and raise their kids.
The kids are getting a little bit more creative in how they're playing around here.
And sometimes that leads to injuries. Elise Everett's daughter recently sprained her ankle, and little Charlie, he chipped his tooth.
My worst fear, like everyone else's worst fear, is having to go to the ER.
Consumer Reports finds sticking to a schedule can help kids and may even limit some of those unexpected trips.
If you have a routine for everyone going outside and getting some exercise each day, then your child may be less likely to be bouncing off the walls later in the day and hurt themselves.
Minimizing new hazards can help too.
A lot of parents may be tempted to buy things that they might not have thought about buying before, like a home trampoline or a hoverboard. Do you have the energy to establish rules around the use of that product? And are you going to be able to supervise your child while using that product?
Consumer Reports says to store things like hand sanitizer carefully. Safety experts also recommend anchoring furniture to the wall, since someone in the U.S. is injured every 20 minutes when a piece tips over. And remember Charlie's chipped tooth? he was able to see a pediatric dentist, and now his smile is as good as new. For News 3 Now and Consumer Reports, I'm Stephanie Fryer.
For babies, Consumer Reports says it's all about creating a safe sleep environment.
The American Academy of Pediatrics recommends babies sleep on their backs and keep tummy time for playing.